Before this video starts, it is absolutely crucial to follow my two channels named Jubus, Demented Games and Demented Cartoons if you want to keep following me, because there is a 50-50 chance that this channel can get strike down because of the controversial content I upload to my channel and the fact that YouTube is a cucked website to the point that they don't allow content that doesn't align with their Hugbox policies. Please subscribe to these channels as soon as possible. Thanks.
Back in 1994, the year I was born, there was a real-time strategy game by the name of Warcraft. No, not World of Warcraft. I don't give a fuck about World of Warcraft. It was a straightforward game in terms of its premise. A war between humans and orcs. The premise is in the title. Like, no fucking shit. The gameplay was simple. Strategize your ambush, take your time to build a base with as many units as you can. Yes, I do call them units. As you gain resources like wood, gold, in order to construct a building. Oh, and let's not forget the farms, which increase the ally count to whatever the level allows you to create. The first game in the series really shows its age, with the limited interactivity and the fact that you have to build roads in order to build your building. Fuck. But to be fair, it was 1994, and it was the first game in the series when Blizzard was just a company starting out as a game developer who were confident and committed to making the best gaming experience ever, which today they are unfortunately a shell of their former self and a corporatized ESG show. With the success of Warcraft 1 came Warcraft 2 a year later, which improved a load of things, a load of problems that the predecessor had. Oh, and it had a PS1 release for some reason, which clearly wasn't built for the consoles, as it was originally made for PCs with keyboard and mouse interaction. When you're using the D-pad to guide your way through the map, it's a fucking mess and a complete tedious slog. Oh, and we also have boat that can transport units to another location now. That's awesome. Then there was a hiatus for 6 years till we got Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. Back when I was in my last year of first school, I finally got to play Warcraft 3. And as opposed to being the predecessor being 1 and 2, this has to be one of my favourite Warcraft games of all time. I like the story, characters, and the overall freedom to do anything, like have heroes and have an inventory with. There's so much shit that can name off in Warcraft 3 to the point that we'll be here all day. Because this video isn't about Warcraft 3. It is about a certain series of maps that I made in Warcraft 3, using a level editor that came with the game by the name of Warcraft World Editor. An application that I used to make maps out of during my middle school days, ranging from 2004 to 2008, according to the creation of the files, that is. Why did you make Warcraft 3 maps? Well, I would normally download a bunch of campaigns from a site called Hive Workshop, which was obviously free, whatever the fuck it's called though. You know, when I was downloading it back in before 2005. I've been using the internet for too long. One of them that I really enjoyed was Nature's Cool, the Spider Queen.
You cannot even imagine how happy I am. You've done great. In fact, you've done so great that I'll
enslave you all as servants of the Scourge.
Nine-year-old me was so impressed to the point that I thought, I want to do that shit. Then I did, but not the way I expected to go to plan. In fact, what fucking plan did I have? I just opened up a new map, placed some trees, terrain, units, and called it a level. Keep in mind that, for the most part, these levels had no scripted events. No pre-scripted events, nothing. Completely unfinished. You can tell when the levels started with the town hall and the 5 peasants, and even the victory prompt. There was no editing in place. It was a mostly linear experience with 1 or 2 characters who would just kill a bunch of enemies in certain areas. Even the fucking switches weren't scripted, so I never knew the point of putting them there to begin with. And the fact that it was straight up impossible to kill one in the map, since it was 1 or 2 versus 100 units. So, around the time, I opened up the console and typed in a cheat code which puts you in the God mode and kills enemies in one hit, named, and I quote, "Who's your daddy?" end quote. And just fucked everyone up in the map. And not to mention that there were no end triggers that would take you to the next level. You get my point already. They were fucked, but keep in mind that I was only like 10 or 11 years old around the time. I was fucking retarded. And didn't even know any better, like the other garbage pail kids around the time. Like, thank fuck I never uploaded these anywhere, or else probably might have been on fucking laughing stock over the internet. Fucking hell. I made tons of campaigns around the time. Most of them never really stood out to the crowd, apart from this one, which I shit you not, this is the name of the campaign. That being The Legend of the School Assassin. Yes, that was the name of the campaign. And what was the campaign? Despite the title giving it away. A recreation of my middle school around the time. Yes, before I knew about shit like our two rascals, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, shooting up Columbine and all, there was something that I made back when I was like 13 or 12 or something. 12, 13. And it shows in the creation of this file being 2007. Yes, before I started YouTube. Like, this was what I was doing in my spare time. Like, making fucking Warcraft maps without no fucking scripts. Like, didn't even fucking work. I just used my imagination and just thought, yeah, I was just playing a fucking game. You know, don't worry about it. Not like, you know, I'll release this to fucking public or anything. No, don't worry about it. But Vagina, I hear you asking in a very concerned manner. Why the fuck did you make this? Did the bullies really rush your jimmies that much? Are you autistic? Do we need to call a wellness check on your ass? Well, funny enough, during my last year in middle school, me and a friend were joking about a what-if scenario where me and him dressed up in military armor and shipped up the school, killing and torturing the teachers in a very hostile-like style, and saving the kids from going to school ever again by blowing up the whole building with a C4. Something that sounds so fucking over-exaggerated, like if it's right out of a GTA San Andreas mission. But, to put it shortly, there was no animosity towards anyone. Apart from the teachers, I guess. It was all in good fun. But knowing that school shootings are on the rise more than ever, that makes it even funnier. And not to mention, I thought of doing it before it was the next hip cool thing to do. So there were 5 levels. The 4 which we can cover later on, because the first level is where the school shooting begins. So we start off with the default Warcraft 3 loading screen which displays Chapter 1, The Mean Staff. And I quote, Joe and his friends are at a school to beat up Miss, a teacher that I knew, because of her meanness. We already got some woman beating here, so that's pretty based. And you have to kill all the teachers, as well as also the head teacher of the school. Sounds simple to me. Let's do it. Okay, so it starts off looking like this, with rocks being portrayed as the fence, considering that I never knew how to do invisible walls around this huge empty space. So that way there was little to no collision in terms of what enemies can enter, since they can just go right past the trees anyway. And we've got 5 children and 13 space marines holding machine guns from StarCraft? I don't know whether I have to call this a school shooting or a fucking raid. We also get Joe, who is our hero from another campaign, with a swapped model to one of the child models. Hence why there is no attack animation, considering that they were not made for specific characters.
This is too easy. This is too easy.
You know, fun fact, back in my last year of first school, as I was doing work, I actually quoted the guy by saying, "This is too easy," and then I got nearly scolded by a teacher for some reason. Like, what? Am I not allowed to criticize shit for being too easy? Fucking bitch. But then we get our first enemy, being the teacher's pet. And yes, I was also inspired by the game Bully, or as they call it in Europe, Canis Canem Edit, Latin for doggy dog. I have no fucking idea why they decided to go with that rather than Bully. I don't know why the fuck they call it dog eat dog. Like, it just sounds fucking retarded. I mean, it's not like it just gets confusing by the alternate titles or anything. And if you want to know what it looks like when a bunch of fucking people are firing machine guns at kids, then here we go. Is this a prediction of what Israel would do to these Palestinian kids? Well, that's going to be dating in a few months, isn't it? I had a wacky imagination back then. And if I were to go into school today joking about that kind of shit, I would have either got expelled or just been sent to counselling. Or I would be raped by some drag teacher and be considered to be a fag. Who knows?
Would like to do some of those funny little dances from Fortnite? Does anybody know any of the dances from Fortnite?
How do you do, fellow kids?
It's one thing for the kids and everyone else to have an unusual amount of health, but everyone's stats seems overpowered as fuck. 50 for strength, agility, and intelligence, and the damage they do is 52 to 62. This is where we meet our second enemy, being the dinner ladies. And the teachers who would watch you from a distance if you're not fighting or anything. I guess I put them there mainly because me and my friends would get in trouble for play fighting and be sent to the cafeteria where we would stand against the wall with our hands behind our backs. I really had no idea why exactly. It was just how it was. Just roll with it. So we break into the first room, being bag room, where we would normally put our bags. Fucking hell, this makes Eric and Dylan look like fucking pussies. At least the school assassin and his comrades didn't shoot themselves after trying to killing everyone. Then there was a moment where you would kill the teachers, one of them being a female, which everyone hated, by the name of Mrs. Depicted as some witch, or some wraith, or whatever the fuck you call it. Which gives us a key that doesn't even work. And then we finally go into the headmaster's office and kill him. And everything was over. Our torment was finally coming to an end. That's as we thought, since we have 4 levels left. Next up is the Graveyard of Hell. So now we're going into some sort of forest in order to escape from the police. Chapter 2. Graveyard from Hell. The graveyard is cursed, and now there are more people in there. Enemies. Teacher's pet. Level before. Teacher. Level before. Vicar, which was supposed to be vicar, or some sort of priest. Maybe I got the idea to put in the vicar after watching Wallace and Gromit Curses the Were-Rabbit around the time. And I remember hating that character. And police. Not much to say about this level like I did with the one before. You're just a school assassin who goes around some sort of graveyard or forest killing children and teachers who are there for some reason, as well as priests and the police. Now we're dealing with the boys in blue right now. And for some weird reason, we have Matilda as a boss for the end of the level who has less health than the other enemies. What the fuck is going on? Look at this here. Like, roll dial? Next up is the Land of the Smurfs. I don't know if I even took my own Ritalin around the time, even though during my middle school days, I would take Ritalin in order to help me concentrate at school for some reason. This explains why I'm mostly stuttering when I'm having the conversation, as well as just, talking like this in general with a speech impediment. Yes, I was a retard, I know. Chapter 3. Land of the Smurfs. Mrs. Teacher that I hated during middle school might be around here somewhere. This is also the search of 2 idiots, 2 people that I hated in middle school, the 2 gays, and now we have to pass Tinker, head of the Smurfs. Here we are killing orcs who are being depicted as Smurfs because they're blue, I guess, and if they were green, they would die. So, just like the last level, you're killing Smurfs and children and teachers and police officers and vicars? Next up is a level by the name of Takeoff. Still has the same old been there, done that, which also has teachers and police and 2 new enemy types who are part of the orc race. Our rocket is taking off, so we don't have time to flap about. Flap about? You mean muck about? Time. 5.5 minutes. Guess what? It was never timed. Shocker! And it also had switches and levers that didn't work, making the exploration pointless. Oh, and there's the last level I made named The Void, which was supposed to take place in space, as well as be a reference to a Worms-like Flash game I loved playing by the name of Territory Wars, which had a level with the same name. God, I miss old Flash 2000s techno. Basically, the whole level was completely unfinished, with no enemy placements or anything, and you have to free me and a couple of friends in middle school for some reason, with our real names being listed as well as mine. And apparently, I'm a gangster, and the other one is a gangster/goth. Okay, I think we're finished. This was my quote-unquote campaign, unquote, where you get to play as a school assassin, as well as your assassin friends that I tried making in Warcraft 3. I hope you fuckers enjoyed the video. Honestly, I've actually moved on to developing actual levels with actual scripts from Doom that actually work in the Ultimate Doom builder. And yes, I am working on a couple of projects in my game development career, so stay tuned for that. Like, that is hard as shit compared to the world editor in Warcraft 3, where it's all based on one floor and the level design is so basic that you can remake them in Wolfenstein 3D. And speaking of shootings, I decided to go back in time a little by remaking a certain tragedy that happened in New Zealand in Warcraft 3 for old time's sake. Get your boombox ready and park your car full of goodies because we got some unfinished business to take care of.
Remember, lads, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Od Bihaća do Petrovca sela, do Petrovca sela. Srpska zemlja napadnuta cijela, napadnuta cijela. Karadžiću, vodi Srbe.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll take you to burn.
Swallow, big fat soft squishy chunky and chubby autistic faggot spurred losers. My name is Drew Pickles, the most sexiest faggot in existence, and today I will be going to New Zealand, so I can shoot up Christchurch Mosque, and gun down as many kebabs, and when I get to the Christchurch Mosque, there will be an enormous 300-mile-long line of autists, Muslims, people with autism, people with Down syndrome, and for a bizarre reason, Mexicans, and you motherfucking guess it, even more Muslim men.